A warm good morning to all. Now we see the case study on the use of mathematical modeling to study pressure regimes in normal and font and blood flow circulations. We developed two mathematical lumped parameter models for blood pressure distribution in the font and blood flow circulation. An ordinary differential equation based on spaciously homogeneous model and a partial differential equation based on spatially inhomogeneous model. Numerical solutions of the ordinary differential equation model, which psychologically consist input parameters and cardiac cycle pressure volume outputs, reveals the existence of a circular value for pulmonary resistance above which cardiac output dramatically decreases. We also analyze the existence of solution for two initial boundary value problems for a nonlinear parabolic partial differential equation with switching in time dynamic boundary conditions, which model the blood pressure distribution in the cardiovascular system with and without Fontan surgery. We obtain necessary conditions for parameter value of the partial differential equation model for existence and uniqueness of psychologically relevant non-negative bounded periodic solutions. These results suggest the use of our model for creation of synthetic data to overcome a lack of training data that currently is considered to be one of the main challenges for the use of machine learning for classification of healthy and failing Fontan patients. With a normal biventricular heart, the systematic and pulmonary blood circulations are in series, and each one is supported by a ventricle, the left ventricle for the systemic circulation and the right ventricle for the pulmonary circulation. A series birth defect affecting approximately 1 per 3,000 births causes the systematic and pulmonary circulations to be driven by a single ventricle. In this situation, oxygenated blood returning from the lungs enter in the ventricle and is mixed with deoxygenated blood from the body and then pumped into the systemic and pulmonary arterioles in a partially oxygenated state. This results in delivery of less oxygen than required to the body and less than optimal oxygen exchange in the lungs. The Fontan surgical procedure is applied to a malformed heart for which a biventricular repair is not possible. The Fontan procedure was the first introduced in the 1968 and involves routing systemic venous blood flow directly to the pulmonary arteries. These diagrams for the normal heart circulatory system, that is left one, for a single ventricular heart birth defect, that is middle, and for the Fontan circulatory system, that is right. In its modern form, the Fontan procedure involves creating a surgical connection called the total cavopulmonary connection from the superior vena cava, the vein carrying blood from the upper body to the heart, and the inferior vena cava, the vein carrying blood from the lower body to the heart, to the left and right pulmonary arteries, using a synthetic graft called an extracardiac conduit. Thus, the single ventricle propels blood flow through the systemic arteries and capillaries with the systemic venous return passively entering the pulmonary circulation. Consequently, the Fontan circulation creates the unusual state in which the force driving the pulmonary blood flow is the systemic venous pressure and is significantly less than for a biventricular heart. Fontan surgery is an extraordinary story of success in that it has allowed a generation of newborn babies with the most severe forms of congenital heart disease to survive into adulthood. Though life-saving, univentricular Fontan circulation does not, however, reproduce biventricular and has been considered abnormal in the sense that systemic venous hypertension, that is measured greater than 10 mm, occurs simultaneously with the pulmonary arterial hypotension, that is means less than 50 mmHg. In patients with Fontan cycology, life expectancy remains far below projected age and sex-matched normative values. Patients with Fontan procedure most frequently die for a heart failure. The incidence of thromboembolic death rises sharply 15 years after Fontan surgery. At the same time, heart failure deaths are very uncommon during the first 10 years after Fontan surgery, with a steady decline in survival thereafter. Associated factors include protein losing enteropathy, a single right ventricle morphology, and increased Fontan pressures. Late Fontan failure might progress gradually over years with an absence of overt symptoms. Fontan patients have lived with less than ideal cardiac output their entire lives and might not recognize a decline in functional status until deterioration is significantly advanced. In the medical literature, failure of the Fontan circulation is divided into three categories: ventricular dysfunction, systematic complications of Fontan cycology, and chronic Fontan failure. In a cross-sectional analysis of 546 children with Fontan procedures, 27% had abnormal ventricular ejection fractions and 72% had diastolic dysfunctions. The prevalence of systolic and diastolic ventricular dysfunctions continues to decrease in adulthood. Over the past 5 to 10 years, a number of studies have described the effect of Fontan cycology on the liver. Hepatic venous pressure after Fontan surgery might be 3 to 4 times higher than normal, with the levels commensurate the cognitive heart failure in adults. Implications of these elevated hepatic venous pressure over the long term remain to be fully understood. Fontan cycology is characterized by progressively decreasing cardiac output and is increasing central venous pressure over time. The average peak oxygen consumption ranges from 90 to 28 ml per kg per minute, or 50% to 60% of normal values. In the third decade of life, hospitalization rates and symptoms increase significantly. While the Fontan surgery has been life-saving for these patients, much remains unknown about Fontan failure and when failure is going to occur in a particular patient. Mathematical modeling of the Fontan circulation can provide insight to the Fontan failure and ultimately could be used in a patient-specific basis to identify early failure in a given patient and possibly suggest potential individualized treatment options. The objective of the present study is to develop lumped parameter models of the Fontan circulation with the goal of Fontan failure at an early time point than current clinical approaches. The outline of this paper is as follows. First, we describe previous mathematical models of the Fontan circulation. Then we present a spaciously homogeneous ordinary differential equation model of the Fontan circulation, including some basic results from this model, showing its consistency with psychological behavior. Next, we describe spaciously inhomogeneous partial differential equation models of the normal and Fontaine circulations, which are an extension of the ordinary differential equation approach that allows the spaciously inhomogeneous variation of the model parameters. Then we determine the values of parameters of the PDE models such that a unique non-negative solution exists. Lastly, we show how to construct the super and subsolution for the PDE models. Discussion and mathematical modeling or results. Computational fluid dynamics. Computational fluid dynamics is a powerful tool that has been used to gain insight into local blood flow dynamics in the Fontaine circulation. These simultaneous the simulations are used to model the detailed 3D hemodynamics of a particular region of the circulatory system, such as the total cavopulmonary connection rather than the complete circulation. A simplified three-dimensional model was used to stimulate the local fluid dynamics for the different designs of the total cavopulmonary connection, allowing a quantitative evaluation of the dissipator energy in each of the examined configurations. The author shows that from a comparative point of view, the energetic losses can be greatly reduced if a proper hydraulic design of the connection is adapted, under the assumption that vessel walls are completely rigid and all vessels are radically symmetric. Numerical simulations of blood flow to the lungs after a surgical Fontaine procedure are described in 7. The authors simulated the full nonlinear Navier-Stokes equation using a streamlined finite element method. They analyzed the blood flow dynamics for different values for the offset between the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava anastomosis and conclude that the optimal distance for the offset is about 7 mm. It was shown in that wall flexibility can play an important role in determining the quantities of hemodynamic interest in the Fontaine connection. However, they recently showed that while fluid structure interactions effect are some important for instantaneous quantities of interest in the Fontaine circulation, they have a negligible impact on the averaged values. Therefore, the main quantities of important modeling of the Fontaine procedures are vessel diameters and flow rates representative of the range seen in the patient group under study, including resting and exercise stats. Vessel sizes and flow rates matched up approximately. Complained vessels accurate modeling of surgical anastomosis sites and surgical material used. Unsteady flow. Effects of respiration. Correctly shaped vessel anatomy. Two different types of boundary conditions, time averaged and pulsatile, were analyzed in 27. Authors derived a patient-specific sensitivity criterion which provides a guideline for determining when time averaged boundary conditions can be used to save computational time. Recent advances in imaging methods are patient-specific modeling now reveal increasingly detailed information about blood flow patterns in healthy and diseased Fontaine states. Building on these tools, there is now an opportunity to couple blood flow simulation with optimization algorithms to improve the designs of surgeries and devices, incorporating more information about the flow physics in the design process to augment current medical knowledge. To do so, there is a need for efficient optimization tools that are appropriate for unsteady fluid mechanics problems, particularly for the optimization of complex patient-specific models in the presence of uncertainty. The state of art is in optimization tools for the virtual surgery, device design, and model parameter identification in cardiovascular flow. In this work, The authors perform optimization of a model of Y-graph design problem. This work represents the first use of formal design optimization methods for the Fontaine surgery and also demonstrate the applicability of the optimization framework on a pulsatile flow problem with the multiple design parameters and constraints. Lumped parameter models. While computational fluid dynamics models can be used to calculate detailed three-dimensional blood flow in the total capopulmonary connection, the computational cost of this approach prevents it from being used to simulate the entire circulatory system. Because the Fontaine failure is a system problem, reduced order methods such as lumped parameter models can be used to study this phenomenon. Lumped parameter models are based on the analogy between fluid flow and electric circuits. In addition to modeling the entire circulatory system, these models can be used to generate appropriate upstream and downstream boundary conditions for computational fluid dynamics simulations. The use of lumped parameter models to study the circulatory system was pioneered by Gittin. A lumped parameter model of Fontaine circulation was used to generate boundary conditions for a computational fluid dynamics model used to design a Fontaine assist device. In a study by lumped parameters models of the Fontaine circulation and the normal circulation were compared to determine the difference between the two circulations in the regulations of cardiac output and central venous pressures. Therefore, the lumped parameter model was used to study the Fontaine circulation under exercise conditions. In a study by lumped parameter models were used with the clinical data to investigate differences in healthy and failing Fontaine circulations. However, the type of Fontaine circulations differed between the healthy and failing groups, making it difficult to draw conclusions for their study. A simple model of Fontaine circulation can be based on the electric circuit approach. These models consist of 5 compartments: the heart, the arterial system, the capillary system, the venous system, and the pulmonary system, that is lungs. For the Fontaine circulation, all compartments are connected in a series around a single loop. In particular, the flow must pass sequentially through the arteries and capillaries, veins, and lungs before returning to the heart, is shown in the figure. We model the capillary and pulmonary system as a linear resistant vessels. That is, we assume that the pressure drop across the vessel is proportional to the flow through the vessel, with constant of proportionally called the resistance labeled RC and RP. That is, the figure shows the x-axis time, y-axis compliances. These are the compliances of heart. The capillary and the pulmonary system respectively. We assume that these vessels have no compliances. We model the arterial and the venous system as linear compliance vessel, in which the volume of the vessel is proportional to the pressure in the vessel, with constant proportionally called the compliance. We allow for the compliance vessel to have the resistance, which is modeled in the same way for the resistance vessels. These compliances are the arterial and the venous system are labeled as CA and CV respectively, while their resistance are RA and RV. The heart is considered to be a linear compliance vessel with different compliances depending on whether it is relaxed. As shown in the figure, the heart compliance is CD, that is 0 less than or equal to 0.7, and CS 0.7 less than or equal to less than 1. We assume that all the vessel contains some basal volume at 0 pressure, which are denoted as V0I. The variable in the system are the volumes VA and VV and VH are the compliance vessel, the arterial systems and the venous system in the heart. And the pressures PA, P small a, PV and PPV at different points along the loop, where the subscript A, B and PV represent the parameters of the system are the resistance and compliances and the basal volumes of the vessel as well as the total blood volume Vt. Estimates for all the parameters can be found by measurement on individuals. For the result that follow, the values of the parameters that we used have been taken from the literature and are given in the table. Parameter values V in unit of L, C in unit of L by mm Hg, and R is in unit of mm Hg minute per L. It should be noted as Vs was chosen to be negative to achieve a reasonable value of systolic heart compliances Cs. In practice, the systolic pressure is never a small value or zero. So the volume in the heart never reaches the negative value, that is minus 0.05. We consider the compliance of the heart to be piecewise constant function with value Cs in systole and value Cd in diastole. To ensure appropriate directionally of the forcing, we assume that there are perfect valves where the pulmonary veins enter the heart and where the aorta leaves the heart. Anatomically, in Fontan circulation, the pulmonary vein enters a common atrium which is separated from a single ventricle by an atrioventricular valve. Depending on whether the patient has a functioning right or left ventricle, this valve is either the tricuspid valve or the mitral valve. Similarly, the single ventricle is separated from the aorta by semilunar valve, which is either the pulmonary valve and the aortic valve. For the purpose of these models, we are neglecting the common atrium by considering as an extension of the pulmonary vein, and we refer to the valve separating the pulmonary vein from the heart as the pulmonary vein valve, and the valve separating the heart from the aorta as the aorta valve. In our model, during the diastole, the pulmonary vein valve is open, allowing the flow into the heart, and during the systole, the pulmonary vein valve is closed, while the aortic valve is open, allowing the flow out of the heart into the arteries. We assume that the valves are perfect in the sense that they open and close instantaneously, and that they do not allow backflow, regardless of pressure differs or flow characteristics. These assumptions lead to a cardiac pressure volume cycle as represented in the figure 3. We use conservation of volume in each compartment to set up the dynamic equations. In particular, we must have the rate of change in the volume of compartment equal to the difference of the flow and in and out. Due to the assumptions on the valves, there are discontinuities in the variable and their derivatives as the valves, which thus it is convenient to distinguish the time intervals in which the heart is in systole and in which it is in diastole. As such, there is one set of model equations that is valid in diastole while another set of equation is valid in systole. The three flow rates are arterial, capillary and pulmonary flow rates, defined as QA equal to PA minus PA into RA, that is QE equal to PA minus PV into RC, then QP equal to PV minus PPV into RP. The three compliance volumes are the arterial and heart volumes, defined as this one. Pulmonary resistance. In x-axis, it represents the pulmonary resistance. In y-axis, average cardiac output. The cardiac pressure volume cycle from our model left, and the effect of pulmonary resistance on the cardiac output, that is right. we calculate like this: the values of dPA into dt. We first show that the equilibrium points for the both ordinary differential equation system are stable nodes. The determinant of the matrix AD is del AD equal to A into C1 minus B1, that is equal to CA plus CV plus CA into CD into CD into CV RC into RP greater than 0. And the determinant value is del of A is equal to A2 into B2 minus C2 likewise. Then we find the trace of the matrix using this formula. Then we denote the equilibrium point of the diastole system as P star D, that is minus A minus 1, and the systole system P star S and minus A minus 1 into Bs. The time period for diastole system is taken in N in our computations as T1 equal to 0.7 and for this systole system T2 equal to 0.3. Starting the dynamics at the initial point, that is P of t equal to 0 is P naught. The value of the solution at the end of the diastole period is P1. We calculate the like using this formula. And P2. Existence of the stable fixed point implies the existence of the limiting period orbit for our switching from the systole to diastole ordinary differential equation systems. To find the coordinates where the limiting periodic orbit switches this from one trajectory to the another and back, we solve the system of the equations P2 and P1. Then the limiting cardiac cycle is defined by P1, that the value of P1 is M1 into V1 and the value of P2 equal to M2 into V2. In addition to diastole and systole, the cardiac cycle consists of two insolemmetric phases, during which both heart valves are closed and the heart undergoes a change in pressure in response to change in its shape while maintaining a constant blood volume. In our model, which instantaneously switches from diastole to systole, the heart pressure pH is determined in the way that the consistent with the insolemmetric constraint. In particular, during the systole, we find the value of VH using that formula. Simulations can be done by sequentially integrating the systolic and diastolic equations and repeating. With model parameter values taken from the table, the simulations of the model equation exhibit realistic values, as shown in the figure. The stroke volume, the amount of blood pumped out of the heart in one heartbeat, was found to be approximately 70 ml, which is consistent with typical values. The pulmonary vascular resistance RP is known to increase the Fontaine failure, and an increase in the resistance is known to lead decreasing the cardiac input. This model can be used to demonstrate the impact of pulmonary vascular resistance on cardiac output. After this inflection point, the cardiac output decreases more quickly for a given change in resistance than the before this inflection point, suggesting that the something changes at the point with regards of Fontaine failure, and this change is dependent on heart rate. The exact mechanism behind this inflection point is unknown at the time, and further research is required to determine its cause. Pulmonary resistance also has an impact on the cardiac pressure volume curve. Okay, figure 4 notate heart volume left and the heart pressure right. Then the boundary conditions for normal circulation. For the normal circulation, there are two ventricles, the left and the right ventricles. Each of them satisfy the volume compliance relationship of the form capital V equal to V naught plus Cp. Then the pressures as a systemic denotes PV and pulmonary arterial pressure BPA, pulmonary pressure PP. These are the notations used. For the convenience, we use the following notation also. Initial boundary value problems. Assume that the initial time t equal to 0. Then the pressure is P of x comma 0 equal to P naught of x. These are the initial conditions we used. These boundary conditions are defined in such a way that to ensure the conservation of the total volume, Vt equal to VLHT plus VRH of t something. Initial boundary value problems. Switch from systole to diastole at the time t equal to t1. Initial boundary value problems, diastolic regime, that is T1 less than T less than T2. Systemic circulation model P2S is given by the partial differential equation and also the conditions. Then the initial boundary value problem switch from diastole to systole, the regime T equal to T2. Then the boundary conditions for Fontan circulations. The Fontan blood flow circulation has the one ventricle. So this model has only single loop 0 less than x less than LL. The basal volumes and the compliances of the one ventricle heart also different during the systole and diastole that are given. Then initial boundary value problem, systolic regime, that is 0 less than t less than t1. Then initial boundary value problem, that is switch from systole to diastole at the time t equal to t1. Then switch from diastole to systole regime at the time t equal to t2. In this section, we find restrictions on the parameters of the partial differential equation model with dynamic flux boundary conditions for the case of the normal blood circulation, for the which is a non-negative solution exists and is unique. First, we show that the pressure P of x comma t stays boundary for any time t when we obtain the uniform in time bounds for the time derivatives and the gradient P of x comma t for some range of the parameter values. Second, we employ the Gronwall lemma to prove the uniqueness. We use these lemmas to prove this one. Thank you.